Hi and welcome back to another video of jPlay. I am Marcus and today I'm going to do a kind of a playthrough of Visions, which has been designed by Thomas Neu, who's also the guy behind Space Pioneers. So if you really liked Space Pioneers, then I think Visions is really something for you as well. Visions is currently on Kickstarter, so you definitely have more than enough time to check out the campaign page and grab yourself a copy. Apparently you're looking at prototype components, but those are the prototype components for the so-called deluxe edition, and this looks really sexy to me. It's a neoprene map. I love it really much. Normally you don't have any gaming mod whatsoever, so you have those cards that you would put in here directly on the table. Works just as fine, but of course this is so much cooler than this. And today I will show you the mechanics for the solo gameplay against virtual players. I decided to play against two virtual players, which is already pretty insane, to be honest. It's already tough when only playing against one virtual player, but with two things can get pretty grim, and I think I will not stand a chance. I'm also not entirely sure if I will do a full playthrough today, so let's see how things go. But what is this game all about? Let's quickly check out the rulebook once more for that.
Use your abilities as a visionary and help the Yates family to unravel the curse which has lain heavily upon them for decades. Engage with the family's past, their ancestors, the rooms and places where they once lived, and with a collection of invaluable but lost jewels. A heritage which might be connected to the curse. Create mental connections at the right time and use the visionary energy and knowledge of the past to receive visions and possess the most mental influence at the end of the game.
And yeah, so in the end you want to earn the most amount of victory points. You will end the game when one of the players reaches the 40 marker here. If that would be one of the virtual players, so red or yellow, in this case I definitely have lost the game, so I really have to be first. And yeah, it's really like some kind of a race in a solo version of the game. Each of the player has his own player board where you can keep track of your visionary energy, which you can trade in for some additional goodies, for example visionary stones, in order to decrease the purchase or the placement of your next card. You gain victory points, or you can progress on your master vision here, which is also a great way to score you additional points. On top of this, the solo player starts with one of those vision cards here, and this is really only for the solo player. In the solo play you're only playing with the A side. There is a back side to those cards for the more advanced game, but the advanced game components are not part of the solo rules so far, but it's definitely still difficult enough, to be honest. So this is also a great way to score you some points, but of course I will explain everything as I go. And I've already prepared the game board with some random family cards. So we have persons here, we have locations here, we have doors here, and I think there's another category. Those are those jewels or gem cards. Right now we don't have any of those, but I'm pretty sure we will see those anytime soon as well. Those are, let's say, standard family cards, which are on these corner spaces of the map. And on top of the game board we have the so-called outer family card, also a card which is placed totally random for now, but you can only ever reach this outer card through a connection to those normal family cards out there. Keep in mind that this outer family card is also virtually available on these spaces here. So whenever you make it somehow to a connection to this space or over this path here, for example, this card or this empty space is also supposed to be this card here on top. But again, I will also explain this as I go. As I am the only real player, I will start the game with 6 of those time cards. So I think let's just go for them. Those are 5. Let's take one more, and then we are already good to go, to be honest. The start, or the real player, always goes first. And yeah, those are the 6 cards that I started the game with. For me as a player, only, let's say, this angle here is of importance. It doesn't really matter if there is the hour and there is the minute hand, doesn't really matter in the end. The right angle is what matters to me. The real time later on might be also important for the virtual player, but right now it's our turn. So I can now do, let's say, a lot of things. I can play one or more time cards at a single time card space. basically during my turn I can play more cards, but they all have to go to the same space on the board. But I will also explain that in a second. We can make changes with time cards and visionary energy, so I can exchange those cards in order to gain visionary energy and so on. If we received vision stones, normally we get those through those family cards. I have to place them at the latest at the end of my turn. I don't have to place them right away, but sometime during my turn I have to place those stones, and at the end of the turn I will draw 3 time cards. This is not optional, and then I have to reduce my hand down to 9 time cards. So normally drawing cards is definitely never a bad thing, to be honest. Right now I don't have any visionary energy or whatnot, so I think the only real meaningful thing to do would be to place some of those time cards. Again, I can only play those time cards to one spot here. This is this or that spot here. So again, all the others are basically positions for the family card. And in order to pretty much play a card, I have to trace a line from the center of the board to the card I want to connect to. So when I want, for example, to place a time card here, it has to be a right angle like this. And for example, I could play a card like this one here. In theory, this would now make a connection and I would gain the rewards from this card here. But things are not so easy, as each family card shows a minimum value on the bottom left of the corner. So in order to connect to this door family card here, so in order to find out what's behind that closed door there, I have to place at least 2 time cards on this spot. So this is 1 time card, so luckily I have a second time card, so I could now play those 2 time cards here. Now I'm allowed to make that connection. Only 1 card stays behind, the other one will just get discarded. So let's do that for now. Now I have made the connection, and now I get 2 of the rewards that are printed down here. First of all, I get a black vision stone. That's already not a bad thing. For now, I will place it next to my player board. This icon here gives me 2 levels of visionary energy, and apparently I have to use the visionary energy that relates to the, let's say, family card. In this case, this was a door card, so I will now move this visionary energy up 2 spaces. Now I have basically passed or landed on the first reward spot here, so anytime when I want to take it, I can now basically pay 2 points, so moving it back to this square here. And this base reward here would allow me to decrease the amount of cards I have to play to family card by 1. So whatever, if the next space I want to connect to would be this house here, for example, it has a it has a value of 3. In this case, it would be sufficient to play only 2 cards, for example, on this space here. But right now I will not use it, of course. I think I will not exchange any cards for now. So the last thing to do would be to place my vision stone. Pretty much I have to place it on a space that matches the color. I can pick and choose one of those. So for now I could say, let's put it like this, for example. I could put it like this. So in this case, yeah, let's put it on this space here. And whenever I've completed one entire row, I have to immediately cash those stones in, so they will get removed from this vision card here, and then I score 2 points. But if I will be able to whatever do a right angle here, so those 5 spaces here, I would also get 5 points for that. Though this is really something that you should try to achieve whenever that's possible. There's also a way to cash those stones in later on. If you get a 4th stone of the color of the black color, then I would be able to progress on my master vision, but I think right now that's nothing I would be able to do. And now I will end my turn and I will draw 3 more cards. This one fits in nicely there, that's good. And yeah, those 2 really don't do me any good. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of my turn. Let's move over to the first AI player here, the yellow player. For him, this turn is pretty easy. He will draw 1 card from the time cards and will resolve it accordingly. So here we have 3 AM or 3 PM, I don't really know. And an AI player will always place, let's say, the card opposite of the hour it shows. So whatever, for 3 PM we would put it here, for whatever, I think 9 PM we would put it here, so that we can easily trace the line to the family card. That's the idea of it. He will now already directly resolve that space up there. He will take one of those stones. I get to choose which stone. In this case, I think I want to go for a white stone, but he also gets 4 visionary energy on the person track here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the AI players will only ever cash in their visionary energy when they have reached the farthest right benefit or reward on that track. So right now, that's kind of it for the yellow player, but unfortunately his time card shows a full hour, and this means that I now get to choose which of the rewards go to both of the EI player. The other reward I would be allowed to take. So if I would take whatever 1 black stone, then both of the other AI players would increase their visionary energy on the people track by 3 or a person track by 3, and that's really a very bad thing. So I think in this case I want to say, no guys, you are getting those black stones each. I will take those out of the supply, not from the card directly. Those will only ever be removed when I claim this reward on this card here. So 1 black stone goes to the red player, and of course the second stone goes to the yellow player. Whenever one of the AI players has 5 or more of those vision stones, they cash it in for 5 victory points. If 3 of those 5 stones show the same color, they would also progress on that master vision and get the bonus points that are printed on the master vision here. So this is really something which you have to be very careful, especially when playing solo against AI players. This was the main reason why I gave him the white stone instead of the black stone here. But that's already the end of the yellow player's turn. But of course we must not forget that we also gain a benefit. We get the second benefit, so we can increase this track here by 3. 1, 2 and 3. So overall that's also not really bad. Then it's the red player. He draws this time card here, and he will simply place it over my card here. Normally when playing a multiplayer game, or when I play the game as the solo player, I can also play cards on top of existing cards, but then I have to play 1 card more than the requirement of the family card here. But this is unfortunately not the case for the AI player. So in this case he can simply do it like this. He still gets the benefit of this door card here. So he gets a black stone, which is a bad thing, and he's also allowed to increase his door track by 2 spaces. And yeah, this was already the end of the very first round, and then it's back to us. And I think I also want to do a connection to this outer family card. I can do that now because I already have some kind of a trace to this family card here. So if I would now be able to play a time card that would, let's say, show this angle here, then I could trace it to the outer family card. I still need to play 3 cards in order to, let's say, place a card here, and unfortunately I only have 2 cards in my hand that matches this position. But as I have this door reward here which I can take, and this allows me to reduce this requirement by 1, I think I will cash it in right now. So I will spend both points, so those are basically all the 2 points on the door track here, and now I would be able to play 2 of those cards to make a connection to this nice guy up there. So of course I will only ever play 1 card there. The other one gets discarded. This reward here is pretty straightforward, but now there is, let's say, a special thing that I can do with this outer family card, because now I'm allowed to exchange the energy that's printed here with, let's say, with the energy of another player, for example. And the same would be true for stones of another player, but right now there are only white and black stones out there, so I think I will not do that exchange. So I will simply take 1 black stone here, and keep in mind I will remove those stones, because the 3rd time you're using a card it will get removed from the board right away. And the second reward would be to advance on the visionary energy track, and again it's the person track. So 1, 2 and 3. I'm 1 space away to cash this reward in for 4 victory points, which isn't shabby at all, to be honest. And I'm really tempted to do something, because I can always cash in 2 cards for 1 visionary of my choice. And I think in this case I want to discard those 2 cards here. This allows me to increase that track by 1, and now I can cash it in right away in order to score my first 1, 2, 3, 4 victory points. Overall, not really bad. I still have one thing to do, and that's to place my black stone here. And I think for now, yeah, let's place this black stone onto this space here. So right now my idea is really to have this right angle completed at some point in time in order to get 5 more victory points. Okay, that was kind of the end of my turn. Of course, I still have to draw 3 more cards. This goes here, this goes here. Awesome, this is now a nice combination, and yeah, this is more like a card I may be able to trade in later or so, but overall that was a very, very cool draw. Moving over to the yellow player, let's draw his time card, and it's the 6 o'clock card. He will place it up there always in order to make this, yeah, connection here. So he will replace my card up there. He will get another black cube, which is kind of a pity, and he will be allowed to increase his house track by 4 points. That's kind of okay, to be honest, because I don't want to really see that those guys are moving here, because I don't want to see him getting 4 points. But yeah, there's in most cases not much I can do against that, to be honest. And yeah, then it's already the red player. He drew a card around 12 AM like this. So in order to make this connection down there, he gets 1 green stone, which is not bad, to be honest, but he's also allowed to increase his house track by 3. Again, that's already the end of the round, and then it's back to us. And now it's a pity that there is a card, because I could go for this card. This would give me any colored stone. It's a joker. I can really exchange this stone for any other stone I would like to have. Unfortunately, I cannot get there, because in order to replace this card I have to place 6 cards now, and I only have 5. 5 is already huge, but yeah, there's nothing I can do. I could pass and wait for another card, but to be honest, waiting in the solo variant is not really a good thing. So I think in this case I will go for this family card. So I have to play 3 cards now, which is okay. So I get this bonus here. I get 3 points on the house track here. Of course, I still have to place that stone during my turn. But there's one thing that we have to do. As all time slots are now occupied, I have to remove all of those. So that's definitely not a bad thing, to be honest, because it doesn't really hinder the AI player, but it hinders me a big deal, to be honest. So I think that was definitely not a bad idea going there. Of course, I could still exchange cards for stones and whatnot, but I think in this case I will simply call it a day. And I just noticed I made a stupid mistake, I think, at least. So yeah, let's place this stone here for now, because whatever I do, wherever I place my next stone, it will complete a row, to be honest. No, maybe here. No, let's place it here. Here I'm okay. So if I now get a white stone and then a green stone, then we should be good. No, okay, that was not too bad. Let's end the turn by drawing 3 more cards, and yeah, this is crap. This is one we cannot use. And yeah, we have now all 4 angles available, but unfortunately, this is really crap. Okay, not much we can do about it. Let's move over to the yellow player. So let's see what card he gets. Oh, another full hour card. This means they again get a bonus. But first of all, let's play this card here. Let's get him this black stone. And I think I can now change this stone for him too, I think. Yeah, that's actually the case. So we will remove this stone here, but I will make a green stone out of this. Because with the green stone, he comes still closer to having 5 stones, but he's not so good in respect to have 3 stones of the same color, which would increase his master vision. This is really something I want to avoid as much as possible. There is still one more thing to do, and that's to resolve that outer family card here. Now we have also 3 cards that show no stones anymore. So we would now be supposed to exchange all family cards on the board, including the outer family card. But in respect to timing, I think we would first resolve this card up there. I think, yeah, that's the case, and that's a pity. Yeah, it's like it is. I think I will play it like this again. I get to choose one of the rewards for the players, for the virtual players, and one of the rewards for me. If I would give them this black stone here, they would both have 3 black stones. But on the other hand, if I give them 3 person energy, he would exchange them right away for victory points. For him it's kind of okay, but I think, yeah, this may be the better deal. No, let's do it. So let's give them 1, 2, 3 energy, 1, 2, 3 energy. He will cash it in right away for 4 victory points. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I grab one of those black stones like this. Okay, overall that's not too bad. If I would now get a 4th black stone here, then I would be allowed to increase or to advance on my master vision, because this black aligns to this space here. So this could give me 1 more victory point. Not a big deal, you might say, but the more you progress on this master vision track here, the more victory points you get. So that's definitely something you should not ignore. But as we have still 3 empty visions on the board, we have to not visions, family cards on the board, we have to remove all of those, and we'll replenish those right away. Let's start here, there, then there, and down there, and the last one goes here. Of course, I will also put the vision stones on top of those. I think I will do that off camera. And overall this wasn't bad, as we see a lot of white and green stones, so this definitely helps us, to be honest. So that's not too bad, to be honest. But of course we still have the red player here, and again we see a full hour. Oh man, are you kidding me? So first of all, he will replace this card here. Not really a big deal, or is it? Oh yeah, it is. So he gets 1 green stone. The green stone is fine, but the 4 visionary energy for the door definitely is a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he will cash in this reward right away, and this allows him to progress on his master vision 1 step. Right now he only gets 1 victory point, but now he really started to move on his master vision. So the next time he advances, he gets 2 victory points, and so on. But we are not done yet, as he played a full hour card right now. So both of the players get 1 reward, I get 1 reward, and I think I will give them this reward here. So 2 energy on the house track. So that's 1, 2, that's not bad. 1, 2, this can be bad because those are 2 vision stones which he would get. But I will grab one of those white stones. Again, I'm not taking this from the card, as this has been placed outside of my turn, or triggered outside of my turn. So I get 1 white stone from the reserve, and I place this onto this space here. If I would have placed a stone here, this row would be completed, all those stones would go back to the reserve, and I would score 2 victory points. But my goal are those 5 victory points here, so I definitely want to place a green stone onto this space there. Okay, back to us. Here is a card that only needs 2 time cards in order to resolve my problem. I only have 1 card here, though this is really a pity. But I think there is still something I can do. It costs me a lot of cards, but I think I will do it anyway. So I will discard 2 cards. This lets me whatever increase on this track by 1. Then I will discard 2 more cards. This will have me trigger or advance on this track once more. And now I will cash it in. Now the cost to place a card next to this one, or to make a connection to this family card, is decreased by 1. So 1 card is sufficient, though. That's good enough, to be honest. I will not complain about this one here. I will get 1 green stone, and I would get 3 people energy, which is also not a bad thing. So slowly we are getting there again. And last but not least, we have to place our green stone, and I will place it like this. So although we have now this shape here completed, all 5 stones get back to the reserve, but this just scored me 5 more victory points. Not bad at all. Let's draw 3 more cards. So what did we get? Those 2 go together, and This one is definitely nothing. But yeah, I was expecting this. I was really discarding cards like crazy just now, but I think it was still worth doing it, to be honest. So yeah, let's see what the yellow player does. But I'm pretty sure he will also cash in some stones right now. So let's place the time card accordingly. So first of all, he will get this stone. So this is now his 5th stone, and he will cash in all his 5 stones right away. The good thing is we don't have 3 of a kind in this those 4 stones, which is a kind of a good thing, because now he only scored 5 more points for those. Of course, we are not done yet, as he's still allowed to get the 2nd reward on this card. And that's already bad enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of a good thing. And now he will pretty much cash in this reward here. This is 7 spaces pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he still has 2 more left. And therefore he now gets 2 vision stones. And I get to choose them. And I guess I will go for 2 black stones here. Okay, now it's the red player. So let's see what time card he gets. That's not a full hour, kind of a good thing. But it's also a bad thing. He will place this card here. Therefore, he gets pretty much a 5th stone. It's a green stone. And as he already has 2 green stones, he will now cash in those 5 stones. First of all, he will get 5 points right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And because he cashed in 3 of a kind, he's also allowed to advance on his master vision. So now he would score 2 more points, and he still gets the reward, or the 2nd reward, of this door family card here. And this will move his track up 4 spaces here. Again, he will not cash it in right away. If he would land here, he would progress on this master vision again for 3 points, and so on. So overall, things are really starting to look pretty ugly, and then it's back to us. But unfortunately, there's not really much we can do, I think, because the hand really sucks. But maybe it may not be the wisest thing to do, but at least it shows you some more strategies or things you can do in this game, as I can also exchange 2 energy into 1 energy of a different kind, for example. And I think in this case, yeah, why not? Let's do this. 1, 2 energy here. This would let me advance on this track here, for example. And now I can still trade in 2 cards in order to get 1 more energy of that house energy. And I think this is what I want to do. Yeah, I think I will do that. So I will now trade in this card here, and I think I will also trade in this card here. This allows me to gain 1 more energy for here. Now I will cash it in to decrease the next card or the next family card I want to connect to by 3 cards in total. That's not a bad thing at all, because this allows me to connect to this space up there. I get a green stone, which is meh. It's okay. I get 5 more visionary energy on the house track here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So again, I'm back here, which is definitely not a bad thing at all. But it's really more important for me is that all those time cards are now getting removed from the board. So things are getting easier for me to play, to be honest. So I think overall that wasn't a bad decision at all. We still have to place our green stone, and right now I really don't care, to be honest. So let's place the stone onto just simply this space. And yeah, then we still have to draw 3 more cards. Those go together, and this is a separate card. Yeah, but again, overall I have a relatively bad hand, but that happens when you are discarding those cards for energy. But sometimes it's really necessary, and yeah, I just wanted to show that to you. Back to the yellow player, and again we see a full hour here. So let's play this card like this. This card is empty, but I can still use it once more. So the yellow player gets 1 green stone out of the reserve. He still gets this reward here. So here's the green stone. He gets 2 more visionary energy on this door track here. And now this family card get discarded has been used 3 times, we would replenish it right away, and yeah, would more or less populate with a rewards here. In this case, this would be again 2 more black stones, and yeah, this reward is clear. So let's place those 2 stones onto this card. But of course we must not forget that he played a full hour, so again they get to choose 1 benefit. This is now really interesting, and I think I want to give both of those guys 1 white vision stone. And yellow is already back to 4 stones in total. That's insane. But I get 2 house energy steps pretty much. And this brings me here. So now I could decide to use this benefit. Then I would keep 2 vision energy here, or I could trade it in for this one here. This would give me 2 vision stones, which isn't bad at all, to be honest. Okay, but that's really the end of yellow's turn. Then it's the red player, not a full hour. So he will go here like this. He will get 1 white stone. He will get 3 person energy, which is still okay. 1, 2, 3, but the next step will give him 4 more victory points. Wow, they're really a threat to me. This is again the end of the round, and I think I will end my playthrough for today. I may consider at least a second episode to maybe show you some more stuff that's going on in this game. Keep in mind that some things are slightly different in the normal multiplayer version of the game, for example, and you also haven't seen any advanced gameplay so far. So I'm only playing on the front side of the player board and on my vision card, for example. On the back side of those player boards there is the so-called seer board here, which also gives you the opportunity to score a lot more points in order to play this game way more strategically. Then with the advanced gameplay, the color of those icons on those family cards also do matter. So we have white and black icons here. For now the shape of the icons don't really matter, so I think this is something for a placeholder for an upcoming expansion, or maybe even for a stretch goal or so of some sort. But the color of this family card alone now determines on where you are allowed to place vision stones from those cards. So from a white card, for example, or from a white color icon here, for example, you can only place it in those 6 spaces here. So this is definitely white, and this middle row here is pretty much both colors or both shades you could refer to. Though again, this also makes the game way more strategic, because you really have to think, where do I, or which family card do I really want to connect to, which does me do any good, for example. And if that's not enough, the deluxe edition also comes with this mini expansion, the prediction. So each of the player now has to predict certain, let's say, stones that are being acquired in order to gain additional visionary energy at the end of the turn. So this also brings some more, I don't know, yeah, prediction elements into the game, because you have to assume which stones may be of interest and what not. So overall, there are really a lot of things that you haven't seen in my solo playthrough so far, but which are still available in the game when playing this with a multiplayer version of the game. So there's really a lot more to the game than I was able to show you here. Keep in mind, the game is still currently on Kickstarter. You will find the link to the campaign in the description of this video, so really check it out for yourself and make sure to get this nice playmat here for sure. And yeah, hope you enjoyed my little playthrough walkthrough so far. Keep in mind, I think I will definitely do at least 1 more episode. Again, not sure if I will play it to the end, but yeah, let's wait and see. And yeah, until then, hope to see you soon. Bye bye.